Coming in at number 40, we have the Getting High scene from 21 Jump Street. Now, this 21 Jump Street was definitely one of the more surprising movies of probably the decade, honestly, because I don't think anybody expected 21 Jump Street honestly be that good of a movie, for being honest. Like, another TV adaptation of an old TV show, or like, gonna be like a generic type of movie, but I'm not surprised, not only being smart and hilarious, but also being very self-aware of everything. And that makes the movie so fascinating, especially with the performances between Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill, who delivered some of the most amazing chemistry any duo in this decade. Like, definitely one of the best duos of this decade. So definitely were a lot of great scenes from the original movie, but I think the one scene that I always end up coming back to, 21 Jump Street, it definitely would be the Getting High sequence. Basically, Channing Tatum, too many guys end up accidentally having a drug that they were supposed to get rid of, and then it basically ended up going crazy and just being basically just, and how they gives in a lot of stages of being high and all that and stuff that goes to, just so hilarious. Definitely one of the most funniest scenes of the decade. Definitely not the funniest scene, we'll get into that, but still an amazing scene nonetheless. At number 39, my 39th favorite movie moment of 2010s, we have the reveal scene from Knives Out. Knives Out is definitely that awesome. The more I watch it, the more I'm enthralled by it, the more I'm fascinated by it, the more I'm in love with it. Again, I know a lot of people are really passionate around Johnson because of what happened to The Last Jedi, but honestly, the guy has been able to be a incredible director, and Knives Out is definitely my favorite of his, honestly. It is that fun, entertaining, has an incredible cast of characters, amazing performances, but definitely one of the best stumbles of that last year. And there's definitely a lot of memorable sequences that I could have put on this list, but the reveal itself just has everything. It has shocking moments, hilarious moments, that just a satisfying reveal. Basically everything you want from a murder mystery reveal, and it's all there. With Chris Evans just being a dick and almost proving out how good of an actor she is, just amazing. Now at number 38, we have the first meeting of Marnie and Anna from When Marnie Was There. Again, I've seen a lot of Studio Ghibli movies, and I still need to view a lot of them, honestly, but When Marnie Was There is easily one of my favorites, and maybe a different one could be on this list, and this one honestly could be high on the list, and I watch it because in a lot of Studio Ghibli I've seen, I end up only watching them once, so maybe I'm able to watch this manga and could rise up on this list. But just the first meeting between these two interesting characters, with the music and the voice acting, the animation, just makes the scene so beautiful to watch. Coming in at number 37, we Han Solo's death from Star Wars The Force Awakens. There's definitely any moment between Force Awakens could not have made this list. Like, Force Awakens for me had so many memorable Star Wars moments. Mostly from the action to a lot of the characters. Like, Force Awakens has so many great moments. I always love that movie, and why it's definitely my favorite of the decade in general. But if I put the one that I've seen the most, it definitely go to Han Solo's death. Like, I don't know whether the moment was shocking or whatever when a lot of people, but it definitely wasn't a lot of emotion. Han Solo finally got what he wanted, and basically Star Wars, and got the death Han Solo that he wanted. And it's still pretty sad to see Harrison Ford play the it was great seeing Harrison Ford play the character one last time, and he doesn't the smuggler he always is, and a lot more older and interesting Han Solo, and seeing how his son Kylo Ren or Ben Solo and the whole conversation had, and maybe by the time that you know I'm sure what's gonna happen, but then I basically choose reaction. But that pretty much says it all. Now at number 36, we have the dinner sequence from Django Unchained. Django Unchained. Definitely this is my second favorite Tarantino movie behind Pulp Fiction, and very good reason. Like, I mean, this was a scene I didn't also want to honestly put up. As fortunate as season 1 number 36, I actually wanted to put season high on the list, but again, so many memorable moments in the movie. But not mention this sequence is definitely one of the most best sequences that he has ever done. Very good from the intense sequences, the incredible acting, especially now DiCaprio, especially when his hand was bleeding and then there's actual blood that was happening, and he still went out with the scene by that. Like, that's dedication to no one, but this anime has some of the most surprising, some of the most tense-filled and crazy moments in it. Like, this basically tells everything I love about Tarantino, and that's definitely why this moment deserves to be on this list. Not how I was unfortunately wanted to hope to, but still rating on the list. Now coming in at number 35, we have Tommy crying and Gwen consulting him while they're screening the room from Disaster Artist. Again, another movie that has so many memories. Easily probably one of my favorites from the A24. And every one of the A24 that I've honestly seen a lot. One of the more rewatchable A24 movies. Like, that's why this truly is a great movie. It really isn't like a mockery time on Zoe, but more of a celebration of him and a more telling a serious message about people wanting to become filmmakers and writers. That even though the film's terrible in my opinion, because expected, you at least did what you were doing. That's basically what made this moment honestly so great, as it Tommy finally got his screen of the room, and when I was laughing at it instead of just taking it seriously, Tommy ended up being upset about it, and Britt ended up consulting him, and that scene's just great, combining the best of these great actors. Again, James Franco should have gotten an Oscar nomination for Best Actress. That's all. He was honestly robbed, if I'm being honest, but man, this scene really hit the field, and it's definitely inspiring for a lot of people, everything for a reason. Now at number 34, we have the emotional send-off of Paul Walker from Furious 7. Now this one was definitely going to make it somewhere onto the list. Like, I knew I make nothing, just was going to make it somewhere. I wasn't sure how high it was going to be, honestly. Again, this also wasn't really as easy as it is, but this emotional send-off is actually pretty impactful. I mean, from an actor that pretty much died too soon, someone who knows being one of the sweetest people ever, and a great actor in general. He was one that was really just in line of his career, but then fate ends up not being great beyond him, and therefore she started touching on this movie, which I think it probably might have been different, but they did a best job like honoring the character and just in the actor in general. Basically saying that Brian basically should not be on team role. I said should basically live his life with me at this point. One of them seemed long time. Of course, I got the video with signs and hey, thought you could leave without saying goodbye. And of course, I got the song "See You Again" playing, which is the song that always hits me every single time I watch. Definitely one of my favorite songs of the 2010s in general, also. But yeah, I can imagine there wasn't a dry, like, even if we had not seen any of the Fast and Furious movies, I can imagine there wasn't a dry eye in the audience after seeing this. Now at number 33, we have Koba vs. Caesar from Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And definitely not the only moment from this amazing trilogy that's going to make this list, because I mean, it's one of the best shows of all time. Definitely one of the most surprising ones. And I don't think anybody expected the Ape Planet. I don't think anyone expected the first one on to be any good. That was going to be another generic movie. Yeah, it'll be a lot more smarter, a lot more deep and emotional than it actually was. And it actually shouldn't be. So again, you definitely expect a couple more moments from the other movies that will definitely be high up on this list. But again, the first one from Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, an amazing and incredible sequel. And again, many great moments in the movie I could put on this list, but I am going with the final fight with Koba and Caesar. Again, like I always say, some of the best of villains are ones that have always reasonable motivations and can understand what they're definitely coming from. And I do a mission job with that with Koba, as one of the times I'll read with him, then see where it's coming from, and actually it's sadly I'm trying to fight Caesar, and Toby Kebbell plays him amazingly, and the whole fight between him and Caesar is emotional, impactful, tense, and just very impactful. Now at number 32, we have Prisoners. Prisoners. Moments about is the ending to Prisoners. This actually I'm actually not going to say too much about because I'm pretty sure line and two. I wonder if to be surprised by a lot of the ambiguous, a lot of the impactfulness of this movie. Because this ending truly is a very haunting movie. Again, similar to again, it was hard to pick like one moment from a lot of these movies on this list. Especially for me, as amazing as person is, which was my favorite in 2015. But every film that really affects me so much, it would be the ending and how ambiguous, how haunting, how unnerving it really was. Pretty much like the rest, just like the rest of me, but man, does this scene really hit. Now at number 31, we have the hairbrush scene from The Hate You Give. Now I was a bit of a difference between two scenes of Hate You Give to put on this list. I was thinking that this scene or the protest we see, both impactful, emotional, and wonderful sequences, and like it was probably like a razor thin on which moment to put on this list. But I think because that really impacted us, I would go with the hairbrush scene. And I hate to give in general movie that really surprised me when I watched it. Like honestly, I thought the movie was going to be just forceful down its messages with a lot of stuff it says about priest stuff and black stuff. Like, but it ended up being a movie that has a lot more stuff serious to tell, has a lot more serious messages, and a lot of impact, especially with the acting and especially with the characters. Like, there's truly so much to really adore about Hate You Give, honestly. Definitely not something I would want to rewatch constantly, but it's almost surprising how impactful this movie actually is. And this hairbrush scene, I remember like, whoa. Basically, Sniper's character for this Sabrina Carpenter's character, Haley, yeah, and basically, please the guy deserved it and all that, and then and think that when Herbert's like a weapon, the Herbert's like, huh? Does it look like a weapon? Does it look like a weapon? Like how can you have any chills from that moment? Like that alone, honestly. This moment, okay, I knew either this or that person was going to be up on this list, but her scene definitely is an impactful sequence that, again, maybe I wasn't able to love much it did.